Hello, everyone. I am Christine Josty of Mail Something Pretty. Thank you for joining me today. I'm talking to those who actually on the replay because it's going to take a few minutes or a few seconds for those who want to join live to catch on here. I just want to make sure that we are up and running. I'm excited to show you what I designed. It's a pickleball card. If you're part of the pickleball craze, I even wore my pickleball shirt, especially for today's live. I actually have two shirts, but I wore this one because it showed the big pickleball that we're going to make. Oh, great. Hi, Mary Lou. Welcome. Glad you can join in live this week. Hi, Nancy. Great. I know there's a little confusion on where to find me last week. Last week was the first week I was able to stream live both on Facebook and YouTube, which I believe I'm doing right now. Hi, Kim. So if you write the comments, I think I can see both comments from YouTube and Facebook as they are live, and we'll find out. But if I can't, I'll reply back later. I know you missed me last week, Kim, but you were having fun. Hello, Bonita. Awesome. All right. So, like I said, we're gonna make a pickleball card. So let me know if you play pickleball or if you know of anyone who plays pickleball. Um, it's a really addictive sport, a game. It's a lot of fun. I played this morning. It's just fun. I was an athlete in all growing up in high school and college, and I miss not playing sports. And so this has kind of brought that back to me, the competitiveness, the gameplay, the teammanship, all that kind of stuff. And it's tons of fun. So I'm going to make a pickleball card. And we have one of the players I play with, she had to have surgery. And so I made this card for everyone to sign. And I thought it would be a fun one to make on here because it's a hot thing. All right, I'm going to go to my desk here. This is that new catalog. I have you curious about pickleball. All right, I'm going to show you a couple props. And maybe I can get you to try out playing. A lot of towns have, like I play in just the town recreation league, and then there's these pickles and pickleball courts hopping up. This also, turn back for a second. There, press the wrong button. There's also controversy because, as you can, actually, we'll go back here. Sorry. This is a pickleball. So it kind of looks like a wiffle ball. And it's plastic, and so it makes a noise when you hit it with a paddle. And so some courts that are near people, and there's some towns in my state that are well-to-do towns and have pickleball courts next to their houses, and they're having all these lawsuits and stuff because people are playing all day long because you can't stop once you start playing. So it's kind of funny. So as we get people online, here are two pickleball paddles. And so you can see, they make a noise. There's a graphite and a composite. They also have wood. It started out, I think, in the 1960s with the wood paddles. And so it's a cross, how I describe it, is a cross between ping pong and tennis. So it's a smaller court. It looks like a tennis court, but it's just smaller. And so there's not as much space to run, which is a good thing. And you generally play 2 against 2. And the cool thing is, like, I was playing with someone in their 80s today. So any age can play. And so it's kind of cool. So I just wanted to kind of show you the paddles and the ball as we make the card. But I highly encourage you to play. That's really all you need is a paddle. And of course, the town provides our nets, but I bought one so I can play anytime. All right. So Nancy doesn't have pickleball yet. It's coming. It is coming. Okay. So let me show you the card. So this is my pickleball card. So you can kind of see, here's my paddle. I don't know if you can get the whole thing on screen. Here's my paddle. And then here's the ball, right? And so this is the card I kind of came up with. And there's all different art designs, and some of them are plain, some of them are really cool design. These all different patterns. So I decided just to use pattern paper to do mine. So hopefully you can see, there we go, it's a little bit more, the texture of the ball. And I also did the texture of the back, kind of alluding to the net. This is a retired embossing folder. I was actually going to use another one that I ordered that's on its way, but I have not gotten it yet. But this is the not art girl, the gingham. But I thought it kind of alluded to a net. So that is what we're going to make. Alrighty. You're learning pickleball. Oh, it's so much fun. It's so addictive. I also made a mini pickleball. So this is a standard card. This is a note card in envelope size, although I did trim it slightly because I didn't have it centered, but just to show you that you can make it different sizes. All right, so what I did, I first started with a ball. So hopefully, oh yeah, you can see them okay. Oh, thank you, Nancy. I know, and you sent me a sweet pickleball card last year that I still have hanging up in my my studio. So there are different color balls, right? But this is typically the color ball that you're going to use, or you're going to see. You can see it. And so it's very similar to the colors that we have here. Pretty much the one that really kind of nails it is the Parakeet Party, at least for this one. That's the middle one. And so what I did, oh, actually, maybe I'll reverse it. I'll show you in a second what I was talking about. There's some lemon lime twist. That's a new one, which you can definitely see on the computer screen, at least on mine. It has a little bit more yellow to it. This is the Parakeet Party, and this is Granny Apple Green, which looks really dark compared to these two, and they all kind of are in the same color scheme. But for my ball, I'm going to use these two colors. I think the Granny Apple Green is just too dark for what I want to accomplish. But they're pink balls and blue balls, but generally this is kind of the color. So we're going to use a lot of dies for this card because it's kind of, like punch art, different dies. I already textured my card base, but actually, you know what? I have another one. I'm going to show you. I'll just show you how I did that, but I do have one, so I can make 2 cards. And I already cut out a couple circles. So this is the lemon lime. No, it's not. This is the Parakeet Party, and that's the lemon lime twist. So I'm going to do one opposite of the sample I have here so you can see, but they both work just fine. And I used the circles from my favorite stylish shapes. So I use that size. So it's like the 3rd biggest. That's the one that I used. So I cut them both the same. What we're going to do is we need to put holes in our ball. So let me grab my machine. I don't think we need those anymore. Put over there. I don't need what just fell, so that's good. I should grab my mini machine, but I have my big one right here. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut a few things out. So how I did my dots, you can see, I didn't really clean it out, but that's all right. I use I think it's called Dots and Spots embossing folder, which does, actually going to see a card next week on my email that uses this as a background. I like to use it, kind of polka dotted background. All right, we have more pickleball players. Judy is a pickleball player in Arizona, and you are addicted. Yeah, like once you start, that's it. Okay, so I'm going to use this die kind of facing up. You can use your dies either way. It really doesn't matter. So I'm going to use it facing up. And I'm going to do opposite. So I'm going to turn the right side, right side down on my circle. And let's do all 3 of them actually. 3, 4. Let's do all 4 of them at once. Then I can make more. I actually thought this would be, and I'm not really lining them up. I'm just kind of putting them down because I'm going to get holes everywhere. I thought this would be a really nice Mother's Day card too. I thought yesterday, like, oh, I should do a Mother's Day project. And then I knew I wanted to make this card. And then I said, oh, wait a minute, there's tons of moms who play pickleball. So my mother doesn't yet, but we're going to get her. Going to get her into it. All right, so then you get these little circles with holes in them. There you go. So what we're going to do, you can probably imagine, we're just going to layer those circles together. But before I put this away, we need to make a handle, right? So I have one cut here, you see? So I used I think these are called Tag Tailor dies, although I'm not 100%. So I'm going to use, this is the skinniest, the smallest and the skinniest one, that here, to make my handle. And what I did, instead of having it flat paper, I don't know if you can see, I used that timber wood grain, I think it's just called timber, the embossing folder. So it has a little texture, right? Because our paddles has this grip. So I mean, it is a small detail, but it's there. So it has a little of that wood grain on it. So let's make, just cut one of those, because I'll do 2 cards with 2 different paddle patterns. All right. All right, so there's another handle. And the other thing we need to cut, oh, I hope I brought more black paper up here. If I didn't, we're in trouble. We might be in trouble. All right, hold on. I might have to, because the black paper is important. I may have you talk amongst yourselves for a second. Okay, so that's the wood grain folder I use. I think it's called timber. And then, darn it. All right. So let me move this. Let me put my cards. Sorry, this is live, but we need the black paper because I need the outline for the paddle. I'm going to run really quick downstairs. So hold on a second, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm going to be out of breath. Sorry about that. Okay. Oh, good. You guys were chatting. Excellent. Okay. Is the dots we using? Yes, we did use that one. And we threaded. Yes, that's the exact one. What she's talking about is we cut up a piece of paper, and then I took really skinny, like 1/8 of an inch paper, and we weaved it through the paper, which is really cool. No, I'm out of breath. This is in the Stampin' Up! Catalog. Judy, let me show you. And you can buy it right at mailsomethingpretty.com/shop. It is, there it is. Dots and Spots. It's $32 on page 163. And actually, I'm going to leave that handy because I'm going to show you the other dies we're going to use. Okay, that gave me a second to catch my breath. All right, and actually, we're going to use the black. We're actually not going to use it with the die, kind of. So we need to pick a pattern for our paddles because they come with pretty patterns. So what I did for this one was from this paper. This was retired last catalog, the By the Bay, but it has a lot of really nice patterns in it for what I think a paddle. So that's the one I used. That would make a cool one. Even this one. I mean, if you just Google pickleball paddles, you'll kind of see all different patterns. So that would be a good one. Any of these, I think that's the same one. Any of these would be good, but I figured I would do something different than what I already have. So I looked at paper that I had, and I don't have a whole lot of current paper. What I have is actually cut the paper share, so I don't want to cut that. So this would make a nice one. You know, geometric patterns would make a good handle. This one was from the Celebration. It was that went with, actually the die is still there, like the tree trunk, and I forget what it's called. That would make Rooted in Nature or something. That would make, I actually might use that one. This would make a nice paddle. I found a lot of people's paddles kind of have this coloration to it. And even this one kind of mimics my paddle a little bit. So let's, oh, and for the current paper, I thought this paper would look, I'm going to show it to you. I thought this paper would make awesome pickleball paddles. This is it's new, the Stargazing. So it's in this current catalog. But to do like that those would make awesome pickleball patterns. But I'll just show you the pattern since I'm here. It's really kind of cool. Same thing. That would make a cool one. Oh, that's the back side. Any of that would make good pickleball paddles. Maybe not that one, but that one would look okay. That one, I mean, that would look nice. Oh, that's pretty. I love that color. And maybe even like you could do customize like specific cut, and that would look nice. So the Stargazing paper, just about every pattern in here I think would make a great pickleball pattern. Pickleball paddle pattern. All right, so I'm going to use actually this one because I think this would kind of look nice. Let's try it. And my dies I'm going to use to do that are called Nested Essential Dies. And these are new. So let me find them. Still getting familiar with this new catalog. And they are standalone dies. I don't think they go with any like specifically stamped set. I think they're in this part. Yeah, here they are. The Nested Essentials, page 165. You will be seeing me use these a lot. I like them. Kind of like the stylish shapes. So I'm going to use the biggest one just because it fits that card size best. And what I'm going to do, I thought that would look really cool. So no, that's not quite centered. I'm going to cut right into this paper. Hi, Cindy, hopping on. Nice to see you. All right, so I'm going to just cut this so that it will fit into my machine. All right, we are making, for those who are joining late, pickleball cards. All right, I was so excited. I designed this last night, and I was saying earlier, there's someone in the group I play with, she had surgery, and so I wanted us all to write her a nice little card. So they all signed it this morning. They all loved it. All right, so I'm going to center that as best as my eyes are letting me center that. And actually, since I said we were making 2 cards, let me pick another pattern. Oh, yeah. That's going to be beautiful. Paddle. Where's that other one? Let's see what this one will do. And I'm just going to cut that quick. Throw it on the floor. Okay. And I think someone I play with has a paddle that looks like this. That's why I thought it would be good. These would make great birthday cards. Like I said, this one was a kind of like we miss you. Mother's Day cards. Alrighty. What is the diameter of the ball? I will tell you in a second. I'm also going to write a blog post on this one because I have a feeling this might go viral because it's so like in trend pickleball. All right, so those are my 2 paddles. So now we need, it's hard to see on this one because it's all black. Oops, and I didn't want to do an all black. I could have, but that'd be a lot of sparseness. So I wanted to have a little bit. But there's black on the outlines. Some are not black. Like I have a white handle here, but it has this black outline. So what I'm going to do, I tried like this one, not this one. I cut this is the same size, and then I cut the next one, right, because they're nested. So I cut the smaller size down. But I thought it's okay, but I thought it was kind of a wide difference. I thought you needed more of a skinnier little, because it really is just such a skinny part, a hand, part of the, whatever it's called, the outside. So what I did, move that away, took my black paper that I just ran downstairs for. What I was, actually I can do it now. What I was going to do to prep, I was going to actually measure. Here's a trick. Instead of cutting the whole thing by scissors, this die is 2.5 inches wide. So let's cut this at 2.5 inches. And then you can line it up. Actually, you can even line it up to the top. So I'm only really cutting. Well, that's kind of a dull pencil, but it will have to work. So I'm really only cutting one side. So I'm going to round those corners. And I'll do that down here because I'm going to make 2. Maybe I should give this to my mother for Mother's Day to entice her to learn. She needs to retire first, and then she'll have more free time to play with me. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just cut on the line. And even if you see some of my pencil mark, I'm going to turn it over because it's a symmetrical shape. So then we'll just flip it over. So this way, there's not that many cuts. I won't tell you her name. My aunt played pickleball. She tried it because I was talking about it, and she told me. So she's old. She's older than I am because she's my aunt. She goes, you didn't tell me you're going to laugh so much playing, which is true. And then she goes, I had to change my underwear because she was laughing so hard. So be careful when you play. All right. So those are going to be our paddles, and we have our 2 handles here and here, and we have our pickballs here and here. So what we're going to do, we're going to put those 2 together. Oh, actually, I like that better. Maybe those are the 2 different color differences. Very minor, but they're opposite. So this one had the lemon lime twist on top with the parakeet party underneath, and I reversed it. I have the parakeet party on top with the lemon lime twist on the bottom, and so that looks, they're both fine, but actually this is a little bit more to my ball color. All right, so then we're just going to glue those together. All righty. Thanks, Mary Lou. I got a really good deal. So I bought my pink petal first, just at Dick's, kind of before I knew what I was doing. And it's fine paddle. And that one I think is, now I forget which one's heavier. Whatever the heavier between the composite and the graphite is. And then, I'm going to do another one because there's some smudges on that one. And then Black Friday had a great sale. So I got the black one, which is the lighter of either the graphite composite, because I forget. And it really did make a difference, especially my backhand, because it's not a huge difference in weight, but it was enough that I could get my backhand across that it improved my playing, which I was happy about. But there's tons of like I said, rec lessons and rec play. There's non-competitive play, and then there's, oh, that's what I was doing. Good. One more. There's competitive play. So I suggest taking just an easy lesson just to get an idea of, it's not a whole lot of rules, but just kind of an idea of how to play. And then you can, there you go. Those ones had smudges on them. And then you can play. All right, let's see. Yes, Cindy, you definitely want to play. I was saying, I don't know if you were on yet, but it's a game for all ages. So I know I was playing with someone in their 80s. I was the youngest one there, which sometimes in the group I play with is typical. But all sorts of ages. You can run a whole lot or you don't have to run a whole lot. So it's kind of cool. All right, let me, oh, you know what? Your town, Cindy, has really nice courts. And Mary Lou, I believe you live in the same town. I have not played on them, but I've heard they're really nice outdoor courts. Okay, so that's what I did. So there's my handle, that tag, and I'm just gonna, I don't want it too long because that looks, you know, you need to have a little bit shorter. So I'm just gonna put a little glue, and that has some texture to it. I was showing earlier for some grip. Okay, so there we go. Here are our paddles. We have a little game going, little ball. All right. Oh, someone wanted to know the dimension of the ball. I was going to use the bigger. I don't think oh yeah. So I did make one with a bigger ball. And that's okay too. But I actually think that portion is better because the ball is smaller on the paddle. So that is, I'd say 1¾ diameter. So it was that third biggest of the stylish shaped circles, but there's lots of different circles. So you just want, oh, they're glued together. You just want both to be the same size circle. Alrighty. Oh, wait. Last thing I have to do is texturize this one. Put my machine back up here. Move those aside. So what I did, because I textured the whole front of the card rather than do a layer, and you can certainly do a layer, but oh, this one's all written in. I actually kind of like, you can see the texture on the inside. So I don't know if you guys realize this. It took me a while to realize, you know, Stampin' Up! Has their logo and they have this line, but this line is deliberate. It's there so we can get things to be straight. So let's get my machine up here. It's just a guideline. So this is a standard embossing folder. So I need just my 2 clear plates. So what I did was, what did I do? I did do it this way. I did it this way. Okay, second. There we go. Whew. Okay, so here's the front of my card, and here's what's going to be at the top of the card. So I'm going to line up the edge of my fold because I already have it folded with the edge of the embossing folder. But I'm also, oh yeah, I did do it this way. I'm also going to use the line, and this particular embossing folder is the same front and back, so it doesn't matter. So you may have to like line up it, you know, the line on the front for a different one, but for this particular one, it doesn't matter. So I have the line. I'm going to measure up the line, the edge of my paper, as well as the edge on the side, and then I'm going to close it and put it in. Generally, I like to put the fold in first, but when I'm doing the front of a card, I can't. So I'm just careful because I have in the previous years with that big shot, I have cracked that folder. So far, I have not cracked any with this new machine. So it could be that it's slightly a little wider, so I have a little space. All right. Hi, Donna. You came in late. What did you make with the balls out of? Oh, I'll show you in a second. Let me put it all together, and I'll do a wrap up. I will also do a blog post about this too, and post links and stuff. So that was, you can see it, the gingham embossing folder, which is now retired. But I think the timeless textures, that's what I was going to use. It's just mine hasn't arrived yet. That would look nice, but I just thought this kind of mimicked the net. All right, so here are the paddles we just put together. I should have another card base. There it is. All right, so we can make 2 at once. So I used this for the handle from the Taylor tags. I use this as my paddle from the new nested something or other. I cut out the designer paper and I flipped it over, traced it, so it's just a slightly bigger. That's how I got the rim on there. So now, look at that. We're just going to put them together. Oh, and I did bring I have little labels, so we're gonna stamp on here too. I think you'll like my little sentiment. The I used the dots and spots embossing folder to make the dots. I cut my circle first. This is the I think what did we say? It was 1 3/4 diameter. The third largest of the circles. So I cut the circle first and then I use that. And you can use lemon lime twist and parakeet party. I think make a nice color combination of the card. Hi, Carol. Carol just learned how to play pickleball. I'm excited about. All right, so you're gonna kind of center it there. And I'm definitely using glue because I have texture on my handle and I have texture on my card base. Oh, my glue on me. And I'm going to kind of, guess I like how it's on the angle, right? Just kind of hold it that way. So we'll put the balls on a second. I'm just going to stamp my little greetings so we can center them. And I used from the same stylish shapes. I use this tons, whatever shape that's called. And I thought from the Charming Sentiments, we're going to use the woohoo because then you can stamp whatever on the inside because woohoo sounds like fun. And where'd my block go? Just right in front of me. I don't want that. And so I'm going to use Starry Sky because it kind of matches the color I brought up here. So I'm also going to stamp, not my finger, I'm going to stamp a little bit left justified, kind of like I did on my, this is my first one because I'm going to cut that straight. Put that aside because I'm going to get ink everywhere. And I'm going to use my trimmer rather than my scissors because it'll be straighter. Just to make a little straight cut there. I could put the whole thing on, but it kind of fits better. So if I put this whole thing, I can, but well, I suppose, no, it was taken away a little bit of the paddle, so you can do whichever. All right. So I'm going to glue that. No, I'm not. I'm going to put dimensionals on that. Remember what I did. 2 balls. I think I used 3. My thumb's not working. It's better than it was yesterday. Those who were at club, I found I went to the doctor. Actually, not yesterday. I went to the doctor yesterday, but I got an infection under my thumbnail from gardening. So they put me on antibiotics, but my thumb was not working at all on club on Monday, and it's still not working perfect. All right, so that's gonna go like that. Look how awesome that is. And we'll do this one. Like I said, I think this would be a great Mother's Day card, a little different for those moms or daughters with kids who play pickleball. Or it can be a hello or thank you or, you know, whatever. Like I did this one. We miss having you on the court. All right, so that's going to go like that. Okay. So those are, look at how awesome those are, our pickleball cards. So to recap, the star of the show is the dots and spots because that's how I made the dots on the pickleball. Again, you can see kind of the, I don't know how well it shows on the screen, but the 2 color combinations of the ball. This one on top has lemon lime twist on top and parakeet party underneath. That has parakeet party on top, lemon lime twist underneath. Yeah, so they're pretty. They're both fine. yeah. And then I was just trying to think what else. And then I used the biggest of this shape from the new Nested Essentials dies. And then the ball came from, and you can use other circle dies, but I used my stylish shapes. So that's what I have there. And then for those who came on late, I even wore my pickleball shirt. My Life is Good pickleball shirt. So I wear Life is Good all the time to kind of match. So that's what I had for you today. I hope you liked it. It's kind of fun to make cards that have a little meaning. So obviously I like these because I play pickleball. And I have some fun people to send them to. So they'll like them too. I will do a blog post about it. I don't know when it will get up there, but with the measurements and the supplies and everything. But you can certainly watch the replay. But they're kind of fun. So go out and learn how to play. Thank you. I think that's all I had. Next week, I will be here live. The following week, I will be away, but I'm going to pre-record. The plan is to pre-record a video for you. So yeah, so I'll see you guys next week. Thanks. Bye-bye.